The Opel Kadett C, produced from 1973 to 1979, was the fourth generation of Opel's Kadett series, and the last to feature rear-wheel drive. It was part of General Motors' T-Car project, leading to various international versions under different brand names. The Kadett C was available in several body styles, including a 2- and 4-door sedan called the Limousine, and the 4-door version was primarily for export markets where 2-door cars were less popular. There was also a 3-door station wagon called the Caravan, which offered practical cargo space for families and businesses. Also a very rare 5-door station wagon, a 2-door coupe, which featured a sleek sporty design, this time only in one single design. A 3-door hatchback called the Kadett City, introduced in May 1975 to compete with models like the Ford Fiesta. And a convertible called the Aero, a limited production model built by Carrosserie Bauer, featuring a Targa roll bar and detachable roof sections. This generation Kadett is notable by its different design due to a facelift in 1977, as in 1977 the Kadett C received a facelift, introducing larger rectangular headlights and updated front indicators. The Opel Kadett C, produced from 1973 to 1979, offered a range of engines catering to various performance and efficiency preferences. These all were petrol engines, and just like the Kadett B, had many options to choose from. And while the power output was actually up to 115 horsepower, the normal versions received engines up to 75 horsepower from the 1.6 liter engines. The smallest engine of the lineup was actually introduced a year after 1973 in 1974 due to the oil crisis, and was a 1 liter engine taken out of the Kadett B. This engine was a 1 liter inline 4, produced between 1974 and 1979. It was introduced in March 1974, and this engine was available until the end of the Kadett C's production in 1979. It had 40 horsepower, 69 Nm and a top speed of approximately 122 km an hour, all while having a 0 to 100 time of 26.5 seconds for the normal limousines, up to 28.5 seconds for the Caravan. But fuel consumption wise, it used normal petrol and actually was quite efficient with 7.5 liters per 100 km. This engine was designed for economy, appealing to cost-conscious buyers, especially after the 1973 oil crisis. While it offered modest performance, it provided slightly better fuel efficiency compared to larger engines. The engine after that was the 1.2 liter, available between 1973 and 1979. These engines were available throughout the entire production run. It had a normal and super petrol variant as a 1.2N and a 1.2S. The 1.2N had a power output of 52 horsepower and 79 Nm, while having a top speed of approximately 132 km an hour. The 0 to 100 time was 21 seconds, and fuel consumption wise it was less efficient, rated at 8.5 liters per 100 km. The 1.2S had a power output higher than the 1.2N with 60 horsepower and 88 Nm of torque, while having a higher top speed of 142 km an hour. And the 0 to 100 time also was drastically better than the 1.2N, with a 0 to 100 time of only 17.5 seconds. The fuel consumption also was lower, rated at 7.9 liters, and the 1.2 liter engine was the most popular choice among Kadett C buyers, balancing performance and fuel efficiency. The S variant offered a slight performance boost over the N versions and actually were very good. After that you had a 1.6 liter available between 1977 and 1979. It was introduced in May 1977 and remained available until the last year, in 1979, when the Kadett C went out of production. It had a power output of 75 horsepower and 126 Nm of torque, giving the car a top speed which was quite high, rated at 157 km an hour. 0 to 100 wise it was also quite fast, with a 0 to 100 time of 13 seconds, but fuel consumption wise it was actually horrible, rated at 9.2 liters per 100 km. The more sportier versions also offered a 1.9 and a 2 liter engine. Basically the upcoming engine besides the 1.6 was the 1.9, which was available between 1975 and 1977. This engine was offered between September of 1975 and September of 1977, primarily in the Kadett GT model. It had a power output of 105 horsepower and 149 Nm of torque, giving the car a good top speed of 184 km an hour and a 0 to 100 time of only 9.8 seconds, while having a better fuel consumption than the 1.6 liter engine with 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers. This engine was fuel injected as it was equipped with Bosch L-Jetronic fuel injection, and this engine delivered enhanced performance, making the GTE model a favorite among enthusiasts. This engine also was used in the Opel Menta A GTE as well. It got succeeded by a 2-liter engine between 1977 and 1979, and it was introduced in the same month of 1977 in September, when the other engine went out of production, and it was available until the end of the Kadett C, and it was featured in the Kadett Rallye 2.0e model. It had a higher output of 115 horsepower while having 159 Nm of torque, giving the car a top speed of approximately 190 km an hour, giving the car a 0 to 100 time of only 8.5 seconds while having a very good fuel consumption of 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers, making the car also quite fuel efficient. This engine offered the highest performance in the Kadett C lineup, appealing to drivers seeking a sporty experience. The Rallye 2.0e model combined this powerful engine with a sport-tuned suspension and distinctive styling cues. It was similar to the 2.0e that was available in the Record E, as well as that had 110 horsepower. These engine options provided Kadett C buyers with a spectrum of choices, from economical daily drivers to performance-oriented models, catering to a wide range of automotive preferences. The interior design of the Kadett C was straightforward and functional, reflecting the automotive trends of the 1970s. Higher trim levels such as the Kadett L and the Kadett Berlina offered enhanced features, such as comfortable seating with upholstered in durable fabrics suitable for daily use, and the dashboard layout was simple with easily readable gauges and controls. And additionally, it also had more features in higher trims, including amenities like an electronic clock and improved interior materials. The Aero convertible stood out with its Targa-style roof, allowing drivers to remove sections for an open-air experience, a unique feature during its time. Opel manufactured approximately 1.7 million units of the Kadett C in its 6-year lifespan, and notable special editions included the Kadett GTE, which was a performance-oriented model with a 2-liter or a 1.9-liter engine, distinctive white and yellow paintwork, sport suspension and a limited slip differential, and this car was available between 1975 and 1977 for the 1.9-liter and 1977 for 1979 for the 1.9-liter engine. You also had the Kadett Rallye, also performance-oriented with a 2-liter engine and also having distinctive paintwork and a sport suspension, being available between 1977 and 1979. You also had the Kadett Aero, as said before, which was a limited production convertible built between 1976 and 1978, with only 1,242 units built, featuring a Targa roll bar and detachable roof sections. Right up the B-pillar, a regular Aero 2-door sedan, in which a removable top panel, a strong vinyl cover and a short convertible roof jointly formed the roof. To convert this sedan to a convertible, the Opel parts company handed this assignment over to the Bauer firm in Stuttgart. And you also had the Kadett City, which was a hatchback version, also called the Vauxhall Chevette in the UK. And in my opinion, it somewhat looked like the successor of the Kadett C, the Kadett D, which came into the market in 1980. The Kadett C faced competition from several models in the small car segment, especially the Ford Escort Mark II, which was a popular choice known for its reliability and performance variants, but also the Ford Fiesta Mark I as a true competitor to the Opel Kadett City. You also had German competitors for the GTE, for the Volkswagen Golf 1, and especially the GTI competed with the Opel Kadett GTE. You also had a lot of different other markets in which the Opel Kadett was available due to its steep car platform, as I said before. For example, the Vauxhall Chevette in the UK as the Opel Kadett City, the Opel K180 in Argentina, Chevrolet Cervette in the USA, as well as the Pontiac T1000 in the USA, the Chevrolet Cervette in Brazil, as well as the Daewoo Mipsi in South Korea, and many more. Predecessor and successor wise, it was straightforward, as the predecessor was the Kadett B, which featured a more angular design and was produced from 1965 to 1973, and the successor was the Opel Kadett D, introduced in 1979, marking a shift to front-wheel drive and a more modern hatchback design, which basically, in my opinion, looks a lot like the Kadett City. Thanks for watching this video. In order to make these videos, it would be great if you would look at the opportunities to support my channel via super thanks or becoming a member on my channel. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out this playlist with many interesting videos covering various parts of the automotive industry, and I will see you in the next video.